think we're on. Welcome to the Inside Dope Show, where your safety is our top priority. This is the Friday Live podcast. I'm Kevin, and I thank you for tuning in. Your viewage means the world to me. We're going to go through, we've got a few little segments to kind of keep some structure around this. Hopefully there's some laughs in here. We're going to start off with the news of the week. So we're going to go through, man, every week some stuff is going on outside the doors of this studio. And I pop my head out, I have a look what's going on, and then I come back and I'll let you all know in a humorous fashion. We're going to go through some scrapped jokes. The scrap jokes we have this week are from the movie review, the movie recommendation segment. So there's two, I'm going to say 2.5 because one's not funny, jokes that you can expect from that. And then we're going to go to some Stan Lee facts that didn't make the show. Stan Lee Pushing Up Roses was our segment on Wednesday, which most of you seem to dig, so I appreciate the feedback on that one. But there are some facts that I'm just going to, because they were written down, they were researched, I don't want to throw them away. So they're going to be brought to the forefront in this segment called Scrapped Stan Lee Facts. Then we're going to go through next week, Pushing Up Roses. I'll let you know who the subject will be. And then, as always, the joke of the week. We'll tail off this Friday Live podcast. This is kind of cool, right? So, right now, there's a stream with live video and audio traveling out through the internet. Like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool when you think about it. So, with that being said, let's get into this week's jokes from the news of the week. We're going to start with some outer world news, and this is news that you may not know. And this is why this segment exists, because this kind of stuff needs to, news outlets focus on certain topics that where the headlines get clicks, and but I go a bit deeper to bring you the news that you need to know. And this week, scientists have speculated it's quite possible there's life on Jupiter's moon. It's true. You may not know that. I didn't know that 5 minutes ago. The temperature on Jupiter's moon is said to never rise above 160 degrees Celsius. So if there is life on Jupiter's moon, I hope they have mittens. There you go. And hello to everybody as well who's just listening to this podcast, wherever you're listening to this podcast, Spotify, etc. I'm going to try to, and that's why I brought in some things that I can kind of speak on rather than visual gags, which may be the majority of the content around the week's content. This is more, if you're driving, you can enjoy this. Just listen to the soothing sound of my voice. What else is going on in the news? All right, let's bring it closer to home. So, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have volunteered their time this week to a local bakery to help prepare food for the homeless and vulnerable people living in Los Angeles. Prince Harry volunteered in a bakery, or as I now know him as, the gingerbread man. This is the Inside Dope Show live podcast. Once again, I thank you for tuning in. What else is going on? Well, supermarkets continue to report a higher than usual demand for toilet paper on their supermarket shelves in Australia. And in other news, Taco Bell has recently opened 14 locations around Australia. There was another joke on that one and I threw it away in my excitement. Well. I'm pretty sure that joke was going to be the most hilarious one, and now it's gone. Nothing but 15 seconds after I said I wasn't going to do any visual references. The first visual reference. All right, big news this week that I need to report on. This week, Segway has ended production of its iconic self-balancing scooter after 19 years. Did you know that? Well, think about what the impact will have on this world. Like when our children grow up, they'll grow up in a world without segways. They won't know what segways are. Therefore, they won't understand the plot of Paul Blart Mall Cop. Big news, little joke. All right, let's go into the world of technology to bring you some news from this week. Google Search has announced it will now automatically delete your search history after 18 months. So, in 18 months from now, there'll be no record of you searching, what is Paul Blart Mall Cop? Sticking on Google News. Google has announced it will... Google News, there you go. Google has announced it will start paying... Let's try this again. I think this is better delivered to this camera. That was the whole problem about the joke. Google has announced it will start paying publishers for its news stories to feature in Google News. And as a source of news items for this show, look forward to the increase of jokes about how crappy Apple is. I think that's how it works. And I apologise for the bad language. Sometimes the joke warrants it, but I apologise for any younger viewers or viewers who may have heart conditions. The Channel 10 network in Australia has apologised for using offensive language on air during a segment of their morning talk show Studio 10. The network has still yet to apologise for their morning talk show Studio 10. Alrighty, this week, Zac Efron has been spotted in Byron Bay. Yeah, I don't care either. This is a fun segment. If nothing else, I enjoy both writing and reading these out loud. So I hope you're enjoying wherever you are. I hope everyone's doing well out there. I hope you're staying safe. I hope your minds are being creative. Try to find a creative outlet. As I'm proving right now, you don't need to be good at it to enjoy it. Microsoft has released a look at their new Start menu for Windows 10. It features a sleeker design with a translucent background. In Microsoft, you can make all the cosmetic updates you want. I'm here to tell you, as a loyal customer, fan, I'll never be satisfied until you bring back that paperclip thing. Bring back the paperclip thing. Yikes. I hope that was on camera. I'm going to watch that back. That was sweet. There was a here we go. So I flicked the for those listening at home, I flicked the hilarious joke, and it hit the wall and did a little dance down the wall, and I hope that got caught on the camera. But it reminded me of the plastic bag in Forrest Gump, and that just reminded me about one of the jokes. And it's actually it's the joke that wasn't a joke, but that's coming up later. I digress. What else is going on? Hey, we'll check this. Another visual gag, I guess. What's going on in the week of news this week, Kevin? Hey, I'm glad you asked. It was discovered this week that social networking app TikTok was monitoring the clipboard of users' phones to gain information about their users. Not good. The company has since released an update to disable the feature and delete all the data, 95% of which is reported to be pizza delivery coupon codes. Pizza delivery coupon codes. I mean, yeah. If you can relate to that one, hilarious. If you can't, waste of time. Maybe a little from column A, a little from column B, who knows. Speaking of pizza, I guess that's why that joke was there, to make a segue. Alright. This week, a former pizza delivery boy who rose up through the ranks to become the CEO of Domino's Pizza purchased a $5.35 million home. Huge news that was. Well, I guess nothing's changed. He's still rolling in the dough. Rolling in the dough. Those words sound good to me. Oh, here's some news, which you may not know from this week. Luxury label Gucci have announced a wristwatch aimed at the video gamer market. A watch for gamers. And not to be outdone, Louis Vuitton have announced sunglasses for Mahjong players. I guess that makes just as much sense. I guess so. Sunglasses for Mahjong players. If you're playing at home, what's the answer to that one? Facebook have released a new app, Forecast, where users make predictions and are encouraged to argue about those predictions. Hey Facebook, you want my prediction? Users will uninstall your app. That was a simple, nice little joke. What a way to deliver the news. There doesn't need to be commentary. There doesn't need to be relevance in a lot of the cases. There doesn't need to be agendas or opinions. They can just be jokes. Remember when jokes used to be jokes? Kevin remembers. Netflix have announced they're cancelling their free trial mode. Ooh. In other news, if anyone wants to contact me, I will no longer change my email address every 28 days. Who am I kidding? No one contacts me. Alright, last news item for this week, and it's hot. I just need to cool it down a little bit first. Again, I hope everyone's doing good out there. I hope this can bring a smile to your dial. Or I don't want to use profanity, but a smile to your dial and a laugh too. On with the news. Last news item for this week. Electric car company Tesla. Another fun word to say. Tesla has placed last this week in problems per 100 vehicles among popular car manufacturers. It was a survey or something they did, I guess. The spokesperson at Tesla commented in response, yeah, but we do have that button that makes it dance. Oh, here we go. Oh, man, these jokes this week. Look at that. If only I could catch. That was this week's news. I still need a name for the segment. This week's news this week isn't quite as doesn't roll off the tongue, isn't funny or fun for me to say. So if at any point I haven't named it and you have a suggestion for what I can call this segment where I read the news, more than willing to listen to it. Bring it through. All right, now we've got some longer form jokes. These are jokes that I wrote when I was going through last week's, and just to talk about last week's segments, I think the production quality has been upped a little bit, right? So we got like a kind of a hook, or for lack of a better term, for every episode where it'll always, regardless of there's new subject matter or whatever, there's always something to bring it back to. So we had Spinny Thingy, who's going to be on movie recommendations. Spinny Thingy. Which I love that thing. Yeah, the movie recommendations is basically, if you haven't, for whatever reason, seen it, you should see it. I don't want to say that. You can do whatever you want. You're a free mind. But for those who have seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. We get notes, as I call them. We get letters that come in from fine viewers, such as yourself. And we go through them and we find a recommendation. And it was becoming a bit tedious for me to search for the right movie. So we developed a sentient being which has artificial intelligence utilizing quantum numbers. That's what they tell me. I know what the words mean. Together, I don't know what the sentence means. But yeah, so that spinny thingy is the hook, lack of a better term, for that one, and we've got some characters that come in and out to help as sidekicks. As you can tell, I can't really string together more than half a sentence, so they're quick to interject with some laughs and keep those sections going. And why I say this is movie recommendations. When I was writing them, I wrote some jokes, just auxiliary jokes. If they could fit into the show recording, I was going to put them in there, but they didn't go in, so I am pleased. I am honoured sounds a bit strange because I wrote them and I'm saying it. I'm grateful to have this opportunity to tell you these jokes. I'm going to start with one which I don't need to read. You know, I like to read because I think the visual cue, at least to me, the visual cue of somebody reading something, there's something that's has a certain charm to me personally. So I like to do that rather than speak to the camera. But this joke is better delivered, spoken to the camera. And if you're listening to this via audio, it may not reach 100% hilarity, but maybe 94%. So just peep the sincerity in my voice. Now I've forgotten which joke I was doing. Yeah, you know, one of them was one of the movie recommendations was about a lady. I'm going to say Rachel. I apologize, Rachel, if you're watching. It's not that your note didn't mean the world to me, but you know, they're actually just here. So while I have time, we have time, right? You're just chilling, I'm just chilling. I'm actually going to find that note and see and report back. It was Rachel. Rachel, who was looking to become a more forgiving person, and Spinny Thingy hopefully helped her. Possibly made things worse with his recommendation. And while I was writing that, this is a joke that was birthed. You know, it's hard to forgive people. I remember when I was in high school, there was this guy who used to bully me. He made my life a living hell. Like, you name it, threw me in lockers, threw tomatoes at me. I remember one time he lit my school bag on fire. Like, I was terrified of this guy every day. And I mean, I can roll with the punches, you know. So that wasn't that bad. But he also started picking on my friends. So the people around me, I saw them being humiliated and their lives demoralized and devalued to themselves. Like, it was horrible to see, and it was all because of this one dude, this bully at my school. And so, I mean, I graduated school 20 years ago, but I always had a resentment, some animosity that I felt for this guy, this bully, and I couldn't shake it. And I thought I'd forgotten all about it. Anyway, last week we had our high school reunion, so I went back there, and I was really like, man, he's probably not going to show up, right? But if he does, like, how am I going to feel? Can I forgive him? I've tried to be a more forgiving person. I was really wondering, like, is it in me to forgive him? They're words, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'd have to dig deep and find, but I wouldn't know until I actually saw him, till I was face to face with the bully who made my life and the lives of my friends living hell. So anyway, on the way there, I was caught unaware because I actually ran into him before I got there. And when I saw him, like, it felt like a weight lifted off my shoulder. Just when it clicked, and I before I even said a word, I forgave him. Like, it's just a feeling. I forgave him. I shook his hand. Bygones were bygones. Like, it was a beautiful feeling. And I guess now I want to kind of share why, that the core of how I was able to forgive him. Basically, I needed my windscreen cleaned. So that was that joke. I like it. Long form jokes aren't really my thing, but I like that one. And this is the half joke. I'm not even sure if this is a joke, but I like to watch movies with the movie captions on. The problem is sometimes I read in advance of how the actor delivers the line. which isn't normally a big deal, except last night I watched Forrest Gump. I don't really see what the big deal is. He seemed like a normal guy to me. Again, I don't know why it could be funny. Pretty sure it's not funny, but I think the premise when I wrote it was something around Tom Hanks being a good actor, and that was meant to be, but don't know. And this is one that was actually for the Stan Lee segment. So it was about comic books. So this is how it went. This is how it goes, because this is the joke. I never really got into Japanese comics, or manga as they call it. The stories never appealed to me. It was usually about some big battle where you have to take sides with either the good guy or the bad guy. So I'd always side with the good guy, right? But then you'd kind of learn that the bad guy, he might not be bad, and the good guy, well, he's flawed, and there's all these things which made it pretty cool. But then towards the end, like, the bad guy disappears, and then the good guy is like a wimp. Like, never really got into it until one of my friends told me you're actually meant to read them from right to left. That's this week's scrap jokes. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to present them. No longer scrapped. No joke left behind. Speaking of no longer scrapped, this isn't. There's no jokes here, but I just want to rattle off some Stan Lee facts that if you watch Pushing Up Roses with Stan Lee, I appreciate your viewage on that, as well as I appreciate your viewage on this video. But where some of the facts were left behind, now is their chance for them to come through. So, again, not funny, but maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you can keep these in your back pocket, and one day they could be useful. Wouldn't that be cool if I could give you something useful rather than jokes that aren't funny? Stan Lee was 95 years old when he passed away. Stan Lee's wife cut his hair, and he'd never been to a barber. I thought that was pretty cool. As a child, Stan Lee enjoyed the literary works of Mark Twain. There you go. I didn't know that one either. His catchphrase, Excelsior, means upward in Latin. Fun fact. Again, hopefully one day that'll come in handy for you. In 2012, Stan Lee had a pacemaker implanted. There you go. He frequently made large donations to the University of Wyoming. I thought that was needing to be said and recited. He partnered with the NHL, which is an ice hockey league, to create superhero characters for each team. Stan Lee did during his lifetime. I did some research when I was writing that segment, and it's a fascinating life he'd lived. And that was just one of them, which was like, oh, that's kind of cool, kind of left field. So that's that. The Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, was inspired by Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Kind of cool. Stan Lee wrote an anti-drug comic without the approval of the Comics Code Authority. So that was, they asked for, he was doing different projects for different organizations, and one of them was the Anti-Drug Authority, or whatever they're called. And he wrote something where a dude dies on prescription pills, and the code, what are they called? The Comics Code Authority were like, hey, we're not publishing this. You can't do, like, kids read this. You can't have people ODing and dying on pills. And he's like, nah, check it out. This needs to be published. And so he pushed him to publish it without any authority. He didn't get this. There's like a seal of authority or whatever. And he just pushed for that because he felt it was an important message to be. And it did. It got published. And there was some backlash, but that wasn't as important as getting the message out, which I thought was cool. In 2004, this is from Change of Pace here. In 2004, he had a cameo in The Princess Diaries 2. He also had a cameo in Mallrats, which I don't recall. I'd seen it, I own it. I've definitely seen it a few times, but didn't quite register. Admittedly, I haven't seen it in a long time. And in Los Angeles, October 28th is Stan Lee Day. Apparently, I find that a bit strange, but I don't know. Maybe it was 1 year or something. I don't know. That was Scrap Stan Lee facts. That was fun, right? I enjoy bringing things like that to you. I'm just conscious on time here, and I don't even know how to see how long this has been going for. All right. It's the thing with I mean I play a I play a big game where there's people and there's sidekicks and there's producers I talk to off screen and stuff, but I'm trying to do stuff here and I've only got 2 hands. So if there's a break in consciousness, that's what it is. And if you're listening to this via audio, just chill. Just chill. The words will come when they come. Stan Lee's a good dude. That was Pushing Up Roses, which was Thursday, which was yesterday. Man, that seemed like a long time ago. That was only yesterday. People were digging that as well, so appreciate the feedback for that segment. It's kind of cool, you know, to have, for me personally, to have something like that where it's not just some fool saying some foolish things. There's something 5 years from now. It's still going to be a testament of somebody's life and an appreciation of it. So I dig that. So I'm happy to do those episodes. Next week, can I tell you? Yeah, we'll do it now. Next week, I'm going to do on Leonard Nimoy. Leonard Nimoy, also known as Mr. Spock, the Vulcan from Planet Vulcan from Star Trek, the original series. When I was a boy, I still dig it now, but like the original series and Next Generation of Star Trek, I was big into Next Generation, and then retroactively I went back and then I got big into TOS, and Voyager as well was my deal, and DS9 I kind of watched and then yeah, it was kind of cool. Like anyway, that's stories for another time. But from the original series, Leonard Nimoy, I'm going to do, because I can see myself enjoying the research on Leonard Nimoy and seeing what he did in his life. Not a huge fan of the new Star Trek films. I think Simon Pegg wrote one. I like the Simon Pegg movies, right? Like was that one with the cops? Hot Fuzz? Hot Fuzz doesn't sound right. It sounds like a movie you shouldn't watch. I think whatever the cop one was, that was I enjoyed that. And there was one with a dog. Everything. What was that? Man, I want to recommend you this movie because it was decent. Everything. Absolutely Everything, I think it was called. I hope that was even Simon Pegg. He might not have even been in it. There was a movie I watched. I think it's called Absolutely Everything, where a guy can wish for absolutely anything. Anyway, I'm digressing from the point in a major way here. Watch that as a movie recommendation with no gag around it. I actually enjoyed the movie. We're going to go through, this is something that I want to do. I want to bring this to this podcast. Like I said before, I enjoy being able to educate as well as entertain, right? So, again, these aren't funny. These are just fun facts. These are 5 fun food facts. 5 fun food facts. 5 fun food facts of ice cream. So each week I'm going to give you 5 fun food facts, and this week it's going to be on ice cream. Who knows when this will come in handy? Who knows? Keep them in your back pocket and see when it does. Did you know that in the United States of America, it's estimated each person consumed on average 19 litres of ice cream per week? That doesn't seem right. That wasn't meant to be. Hang on. That doesn't seem right at all. 19 litres of ice cream per week. That's not right. I honestly, these are meant to be real facts. That's in the United States of America. It's estimated each person consumed on average 19 liters of ice cream per week. All right. I've just hang tight with me for a sec. There's this book. This is a bit inside baseball, but there's this book where I get some of these facts from. It's a decent book, and I'm just going to find where I got these, because that doesn't seem right. The person can't eat 19 liters of ice cream every week. Words and language. Food, ice cream. I'm here also to say, reading is not uncool, folks. Pick up a book. You'd be surprised. I mean, I don't want to speak out of turn, but man, there's some things that people have written throughout the ages that are important. No, that's not it. I swear, here we go. According to some surveys, ice cream is the United States' favorite dessert. It's estimated that Americans eat nearly 19 liters, in brackets 5 gallons, of ice cream per person per year. Okay, not per week. I'm a dope. Per year. All right. Hope has been restored. Let's start this again. We're going to do this segment called 5. Oh, what a terrible. Lucky this isn't live and I can just record it again. In the United States, it's estimated each person consumed on average 19 liters of ice cream per year. Man, I'm a dope. It didn't sound right as soon as I said it. 19. Imagine if you ate 19 liters of ice cream every week. There wouldn't be too many weeks. Another fun fact about ice cream. If the segment was called One Fun Food Fact, then it'll be over, but there's another 4 of these. 9% of milk produced in the USA is made into ice cream. So out of all the milk produced, 9% is made into ice cream. Probably not. I don't know. I'm assuming that doesn't include not farmed by man. So like a chick cow's feeding her calf. That still counts as produced. I assume it's whatever the number. I shouldn't have thrown it away. Whatever the percent was. So the others would be used for things other than ice cream, using my deductive skills. The third fun fact. This is what a segment, huh? You're learning. I'm learning as well. I didn't know these. If I knew these, I wouldn't have been excited when I found them, and I wouldn't have felt the need to share my newfound knowledge. Here's another fact about ice cream. It takes 11 litres of milk to make 3.8 litres of ice cream. There you go. 11 meters. Yikes. 11 litres of milk is needed to make 3.8 litres of ice cream. Makes sense, but it also kind of puts it into perspective when you have a tub of ice cream. If you were to, 2.5 times? If you were to 2.5 times it, if you were to multiply the volume that you see, the surface area, by 2.5 times, and then see that as milk, that's what you're consuming, with all the other stuff that they put in it. There you go. That was a fun fact. The first written ice cream recipe was found in a recipe book dating back to 1665. 1665 was when the first recorded documentation of an ice cream recipe. It's cool. I don't think that is useful. But if it ever comes up, they'll be like, how did you know that? Don't even tell them the Inside Dope Show told you. Just be like, hey, I know my ice cream, alright? There you go. I wonder what it was. What would have been around in 1665? I don't think they would have had like, I can't even think of a ice cream flavor that's recent. Yeah, I can. I had one from a service station, and it was a Jimmy Fallon ice cream. It was like the Tonight cookie dough or something like that. Yeah, so that's the joke I'm going to insert there. Yep. That's what the recipe was. What kind of food is has recently been discovered? I think everything, like things combine to make new foods. There's probably a lot of them, but what a question. There could be some very obvious stuff here, and I'm just looking like a fool right now. You know what I mean? Like, besides like synthetic flavors, and I mean, every food comes from. This is one that I'm gonna have to research, and that's why there was no joke there. Well, these aren't meant to be funny, right? The last fun fact is on ice cream. This is actually cool. This is one that might be handy, not just a random thing that you'll pull out of your back pocket, but this is like, at least when I read it, I was like, ice cream headaches or brain freezes is the reserve of jeepers. Whew. I think this might be a sign that 37 minutes is the limit of my podcast potential. Ice cream headaches or brain freeze is the result of the nerve endings in the roof of your mouth sending a message to your brain of loss of heat. So the roof of your mouth is like, hey, check it out, brain, it's cold. And then your brain's like, all right, let's go into brain freeze mode. There you go. The nerve endings in the roof of your mouth. I hope some of those fun facts were fun for you and helpful. I dig, and I hope you dig. Hey, check it out. This is just one for the record book. We have some coffee mugs, not like this one. Well, it is like this one, but it's stylized with the Inside Dope Show logo available on our website, InsideDopeShow.com. Coffee mugs, mark it down in the annals of history. There's some other stuff I want to put up on there, but it was basically just so we could have the mechanism in place that we could just feed stuff through when it's ready. But I think coffee mugs are sweet, and the logo looks sweet on it. So there you go. When mine comes in, I'll be able to show you. Imagine this. Where's the logo? Man, this is... Yeah, imagine that. Big hello to everyone listening on Spotify and wherever good podcasts are found. All right, we're getting close to the joke of the week. You know, I can ramble on like a fool, but let's just end it here because conventions aren't my thing. I mean, I like some structure here, so I know where to go. When I finish something, I know what's coming next. But I won't be time restricted. When it's done, it's done. And with that said, here is the joke of the week. The joke of the week is... Oh, it's about ice hockey. Ice hockey. Alright. Just as I was reading, I write these a while in advance. So I kind of forget what's coming up. And I wasn't expecting this to be the joke. Here it is anyway. You know, I like to watch ice hockey, but the game's too quick and it's hard to keep your eye on the puck. I think ice hockey should be quick, but not too quick. That's why I propose we start a new sport called quick sand hockey. Oh. All right, that's it, good people. Anyone tuning in at any stage, I thank you, number one, for your viewage, and I also wish you well for all your days from here hence. Be good to each other and to yourselves. Peace.
It's the Inside Dope Show.